So I got the biblical question. I know everybody I know, but I'm just so out of time. And I really want to get to the biblical question. And I want you to respond since you haven't said anything. The biblical question is, do you dance to your own music? Do you dance to your... Let me see the hands of the people who dance to their own music. Who said what that means? Okay. Okay. Do you dance to your own music?
Occasionally.
And what does that mean to dance to your own music?
I listen to thoughts. Sometimes I put too much thought into things, but then I recognize it and then I'll just let it go.
And that's what it means to dance to your own music? When you let go?
No, that's when I'm not dancing to my own music.
Oh, okay.
I believe when I'm listening to the thoughts is when I'm dancing to my own music.
Okay. This your first time here too?
Yes, sir.
What's your name?
Herman.
Herman.
Yes.
Amazing. You smoke pot?
Yes.
What the?
How'd you know? How'd you know?
You said no now? You said yes, no?
He said, how do you know?
No,
Oh,
how do
oh.
you know? How did you know?
To have a name Herman, you have to smoke pot.
Oh,
No, I'm messing with you. I don't know, you just look like you smoke pot.
man, that's not a good thing.
And well, it's not a bad thing.
I'm trying to quit, but
That's another thing, folks. There's another thing. Stop calling things good and bad. Don't call yourself good. Do not call yourself bad. You put a title on yourself when you do that. It's enough to see, but put no titles to it. Stop putting titles to yourself. That makes sense a little bit? You have life and death is in the power of the tongue. And when you call yourself good, when you call yourself bad, that's what you become in your own mind, but not in reality. All right? So cut that out too. So smoking pot is neither good nor bad.
okay.
All right?
Yes.
How did you hear about us?
One day my brother was watching YouTube and I happened to hear some of your words in the background. And I asked him about you, and he was like, well, this guy's all right. I don't really believe everything he says. And I said, but what I heard, it just snapped. And I said, no, I want his who he is and his channel, everything. And so I got it from him that day, and ever since I've just been addicted. I listen to you every day as much as I can. I'll pause you and go to work or do whatever I have to do, and then afterwards I'll go home and watch you.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
Yes, sir.
Stay with it, stay with it. I've been doing it for 33 years now, nonstop, thank God.
Man, thank God that I ran into you, because I was a mess.
Yeah,
I
me
was
too,
a
man.
mess.
Absolutely.
We've been married for 15 years, and it's
Been
been
a
just
mess.
like you said. But it's been a lot better, and it's coming around. And
Well, don't relax, cause it takes 50
No, I know,
years.
I know.
It takes
I know
50
not to
years for the
relax.
woman to come around.
Oh, it's been 15 so far, so we're close.
Right on.
Hopefully, everything's.
Are you doing the prayer too? Oh Lord, we'll add another 50 years.
I've
Well,
done it with him one time.
I'm trying to get her on the on board. She does listen, and she does take a lot of it to heart, but I think sometimes when you talk about the woman and the evil spirit, it tends to steer her in a different direction.
Oh,
because I don't think she understands the curse and what how Satan really works,
Right.
and what how he works through us, and what he makes us do to ourselves out of in the name of Jesus, like you said.
Yeah. But
those
she
thoughts are
understands it. She's
amazing.
just not ready to admit it.
She's getting there.
Because
I hope that I'm being patient, like you
Right
say. I try not. Before I used to judge her. We used to get in big arguments. I used to call her names and stuff like that. A lot of that is just completely took a different turn.
Nice.
Because I've been implementing what you said. I went and forgave my mother. I went and forgave my father. Just before he died, we got to build a car together, so we were able to talk and really, you know, I really got to know my dad during that time. And when he passed, I just watched everybody go nuts and scream, and you know, the lies at the vigil and everything else, and it didn't affect me the same. And I can see that, and it just like it was weird, but at the same time, I was grateful for it.
Right on. Seeing it is what changed it.
Yes,
when you
absolutely.
see this not you in this body, and just know it's not you, seeing it. Do you understand that? Just seeing it make the change. There's nothing you can or should do. Seeing the not you, change the not you. Because that's the light of God shining on the not you, and he will change it. There's nothing we can do about it.
And I
so that's why you should stop judging yourself, call yourself names and all that. There's nothing you can do about it. Just see it, seeing it. It's amazing to live a life where you don't have to do anything.
Yes, absolutely.
You don't have to do anything but see it. But go ahead, you had the last word.
I was gonna respond about the stuff we were talking about earlier. One thing my father always told me was that we come in this world alone.
Yeah.
God's in full control of this world. When people die, that's the way it's meant to be. We have no control over what happens, no matter what we do. And that when we come in, we also leave by ourselves.
That's right.
And that's who we should get to know, not anybody else, not identify with anybody, their sadness and all that stuff. So he was pretty good with that. But I never, being young, I didn't understand it right.
Right.
And then when all this stuff started being pushed, the families being destroyed and all that, I got sucked into the madness.
I've never seen a world that's so willing to attach to somebody else, especially with men.
Yes.
But when we were growing up, we were told not to do that anyway. Don't be identified with those folks. You don't know what those folks are into.
Yep.
You be yourself. We were taught that growing up. You don't hear that anymore.
Well, that's what I teach my children.
Good. Now they teach you everybody need to be a group. Everybody, you need this. You need friends. You need it. You don't need that.
We all live. We all die.
You going out the world the same way you came in,
That's
by yourself.
Right, by yourself, and with nothing.
That's right.
Yeah.
You had your hand real fast. Did you have your hand up?
I did. I don't know. I was just gonna comment on what he said about when you speak about women and just can't we forgive Eve?
I'm sorry?
Can we forgive Eve for the curse?
Where's Eve now?
Well, she's dead.
She's dead.
I know.
But
why is the curse
when you go
still...
and forgive your mother, you are forgiving Eve.
Okay.
Good point.
Okay. Thank you.
Do you understand that? That makes sense?
It makes sense.
Yeah. And do you see how the devil worked through the woman?
Yes, but yes.
Is it hard to face that?
Well, I just don't like how it's kind of like the way it's perceived from, like, in my household, like, the woman is evil, you know?
But
like,
she is.
Well, so is man.
But why do you need to say that in
I
order
know,
to
that's what I'm trying to overcome, because there's no point in it. I mean, honestly, like, he's completely changed, you know, as a person for the better. So when we talk about that, I get angry. And there's no point in it, actually.
Right. It's just keeping you in the hell.
Yeah.
Because you're not admitted. Yeah, you're right about that. Because it's not you, but it's the evil that made a home in you.
Right.
But you have identified with it as you. So when your husband mentioned it, Satan said, oh, he's talking about you. But that's not you. That's him in you. His spirit, his nature. So stop identifying with it. And if you get mad, be glad to see that you get mad, because you just don't want, the ego doesn't want to face the truth.
Yeah.
So be glad that you get mad.
Okay.
And see that it's all ego, and let yourself be mad so the ego you can overcome that.
Okay.
You run to that instead of running away from it.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes.
Because it's really not you. It's just the spirit that was passed down from Eve to you.
Okay.
Through your mother, through her mother, blah, blah, blah.
Can you tell her to quit talking back to me?
And quit talking about Shut up and listen. Obey your husband.
I feel like I do.
Obey your husband.
Okay.
You made a promise to obey, right?
I did.
But you were lying, though.
I have a question, though. What if he says, you know, if I do wrong, then that means
don't
you
do
have
the
to
ifs. Have a wait and see.
Okay. Well, he said that.
Because the devil tell you, oh, if he does wrong, then what?
Well,
and you
then
hear
I'm
a lot of
supposed to
women
follow
saying,
him.
well, I'm going to listen to my husband as long as he does the right thing. Who's going to determine what the right thing is?
Yeah. True.
So go and face your mother or your father and do the side prayer. You'll be fine.
Okay.
And you're blessed that your husband is overcoming. Now you can follow him.
Yeah?
You can look up to him.
Yes.
That makes sense?
Yes.
Any other questions?
No.
All right. Hassan, yes, sir. And then I got to wind this down. I got to. Yes.
So, yeah, I just wanted to answer it in yes.
Do you dance to your own music? You say yes.
Yes.
And why do you say yes?
Because when I dance to the music of the world, similar to what this guy was talking about and my brother right here and this guy, when we're in the world but not of it, when we're dancing to the world music, we go along with things and we're unconscious. So it's sort of like when you say, like, even when we're dating, and in the beginning, we just go along with things because we're trying to get the sex.
Yeah.
So we go along with all the little things and we go, well, that's not a big deal. I'll let that slide. I'll let this slide. And then 10 years down the road, now you have a divorce because you've built resentment for all those little things.
Yeah.
And the divorce in this case is the guns being taken and overreacting. If we just would speak up about the little things with God's working through us and seeing it for what it is, and we speak up to the little things today, because even like he was saying, well, don't worry about tomorrow. And I saw his gearing.
Make a long story short.
Long story short is that with God's love, we'll correct the small things so that we don't have to overreact to what we perceive to be the big thing.
Okay.
So when we don't dance to the world's music and we dance to the beat of our own drum, as they say, even if you think it's awkward dancing, like they say, 2 left feet, in this case, I guess 2 right feet, you will be able to correct.
Okay.
So, all right.
The young lady next to you, last word on that. Do you dance to your own music?
I think I dance to my own music when I'm trying to control everything.
I'm sorry?
When I'm trying to control everything.
You're dancing to your own music?
Yeah.
Will you try to do that?
Yeah.
Amazing.
And when I'm not trying to control stuff, I'm not dancing to my own music. When I'm just at peace,
Nice.
I'm not dancing to my own music. I
heard this from an older man. If you really want to learn wisdom, listen to older men. Not today's man. Older men, older than me. And he was talking about dancing to your own music, and he gave this story of a young man who wanted to be a musician. And so when he was a kid, growing up, he said, you know what, I want to be a musician. I'm going to be a musician. And so he went out, he learned different forms of music, and then he became interested in, he didn't say country western, I forgot what he said, but country western music. And so he learned it, all about country and western. He learned how to sing and play. And eventually he started getting jobs. People call, hey, we're gonna have an event, a party, we need you to come and play some country western music. And so at every party he would go and play the music, the people loved him, he made buku money. But then there came a time when the people wanted different kind of music. And they were like, oh, you need to play rock and roll. We want rock and roll. And so he went and learned rock and roll, but he would play the rock and roll, and the people would be happy. He would make buku money, got a lot of invitations. He would get paid, the people would be happy. But one day he realized that he wasn't happy about playing any other music but country and western music. And so instead of trying to please the people just for the money and the fame, he decided that he wanted to play what he wanted to play. His thing, his talent, his thing. So he went back to playing country and western. And so even when the people request rock and roll, he would still play country western. And even though he didn't make as much money, he had perfect peace because he danced to his own music. He danced, and a lot of people don't dance to their own music. A lot of you won't stick to the gift that God has given you, especially if other people complain about it. You got to dance to your own music. And if the world don't like it, forgive them, but dance to your own music. Do your own gift, your own thing. And if people try to tell you how to do it, what to do it, let it go in one ear and out of the other one, dance to your own music. Isn't that an amazing story? Yeah. Amazing. No. Last word, that's it. Nobody else. Because they're going to get me. My staff is already shaking head. Chris, Nick, and Doug judging me. Because I always say, this is the last one, and go to another one.
So I had a question on that story, though. So is that also his ego, too? Because
no, it was his natural thing. And when he deviated from it, he wasn't at peace because he doing what the world wanted to do and not the gift that God had given him. Okay. I remember when I first started Bond, it was the same thing. People, what's your 5-year plan? You need to say it this way. You need to do it this way. And I couldn't do it no other way. I stayed on my straight and narrow, and if people liked it, they grew from it. Those that didn't like it, they went away. But thank God, still there, because I would allow myself to dance to anybody else. Not that I even would allow, it just could not happen. I couldn't make myself, I wouldn't dance well if I danced to someone else's music. If I did it the way they think I ought to do it. If I use the word, if I don't use, if I don't tell the truth about the women, right? Don't be so hard on the women, on the blacks and on this. But I just want the truth to get out there, so I can't dance to anyone else's music but God's music. And I'm happy being me, even being along with it. So dance to your own music, all right? I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you so much for being with me. You can get involved by going to our chat line on YouTube there, and Hake will give me your questions or comments and I can respond.